Welcome to another episode of Too Much From My Engine. Too much for my engine. So black threatens to promote to a knight and checkmate. So the only move for white is capturing on c2. Now black has a lot of options. We first have a look at the worst one, and this is taking on a3. So and now rook c7 is very strong. You have always threats like rook c8 or knight c6. Then, for example, if you capture on c2, it's directly over. So this is stronger. Now you have two options. This is an easy draw. So black has to go to a7. Oops. Now you give check. If he goes to b6, then you can play a7 and threaten to promote to a knight and checkmate after it with the queen. So and if you take the knight, then white can capture on f7 and threatens to promote with checkmate, and there's no defense, so he goes back. And again, you can play rook c8 or knight c6, which might be winning. So taking on a3 is worse. What you could also consider is taking on c1, but this leads often to the same variations as bishop c4, so we will analyze this. Taking back. Now first queen c8 is worse because of and now rook b7 is very strong. Because then you have, if he captures with the rook, capture back with check, and then you have such motives like if he takes with the king, queen b2. So this is not good for black. So, but his queen is attacked, so the other square you can consider is queen e6. Now you taking on c7 is for sure bad, because then black can capture the rook. So first taking here. Now you promote first, and now you can take back the rook. And now taking on c7, and now black can make a draw. This is something to see. Sacrificing the exchange. Now white has to go back because this loses. So you win the queen and checkmate after it. This is worse. And you can also don't go to c1 because of bishop g5 check. So don't queen b2 is worse, so you have to go back, and then it's perpetual. King e2 is also very bad. Then you will checkmate, so you will capture on f1 with check. This is bad. But something to consider is king e3. Then Yeah. Then black can make the perpetual on different ways, for example queen c5. And this is something we saw already. But he can also play bishop g5 and this will be funny. Now you can escape on f2, but so taking on c1 is worse, because then you promote on g8 and threaten things like knight c6 and so on. So this, and now black has a matting attack, so you have to sacrifice your queen to prevent it. Now the king escapes like Jack Sparrow, and now you have to find this move to, so you are up a queen but you have to play for a draw. Yeah, because white, you cannot stop those pawns. So you threaten knight f3 check and mate on g3 or g1 after it. So white has to prevent this, and now you don't have something better than this perpetual. Yeah, funny. Nevertheless, you are up a queen, you have to give this perpetual. Yeah, so that's how black could make a draw in this position with queen a2. But rook b3 also looks dangerous, so now you have these ideas with knight c3. But yeah, so white moves, and let's first look at the natural move. So what's the idea is you would like to play knight to d7 as this. Yeah, so now the queen prevents not c8, and if he captures the pawn on g8 promotes. But then the thing is, black has knight c3, and now black can capture with check. So that's why knight directly to d7 does not work. Yes. Yeah, so directly knight d7 is worse, but you can first play g3. The idea is if black plays something like h2 now, so then you can now you can play knight to d7, and on knight c3 you have king to f2. So g3 is not about attacking the bishop, but attacking f2. This is the idea, but yeah, black captures back instead of playing h2, and now white has a nice move. Yeah, so the queen is overloaded, so it has too many tasks, but the bishop also has too many tasks. So he has to move back, because if the knight captures back, then let's see it. Yeah, black comes to, yeah, this is worse for, the knight has to prevent f1, c4. And if the king captures back, then you can capture on h3 with check with the queen, so the bishop also has to take back. And now I really don't know what's going on here, but white don't needs these complications. He has a good alternative. So we saw g3, but now the key move in this position after rook b3, the key move is c4. So the idea from white is still knight d7, and we saw preparing it with g3 was okay for white, but the thing is now black cannot prevent knight d7 anymore, because such motives like knight c3 and capturing on d7 with check don't work, because now white can sacrifice the queen on c3, and if the rook captures back, it does not prevent the pawn on c8 to promote, because c4 blocks this line. So now, yeah, that's it. And yeah, let's have a look. Happens if then you have the strong move, and still it's too much for the queen. So you threaten to promote one of the pawns and give check on b6 after it. Yeah. Yeah, this is great for white. And yeah, capturing on c4 is also worse. You can give check here, capture back with this knight, and this pawns promote. But yeah, to find c4 in this position is really difficult, even for an engine. Yeah, so the engine thinks rook b3 is good, and just after playing c4 she sees, oh no, I prefer playing queen a2. Yeah. So the engine don't see c4 if he plays rook b3. Yeah, but black has a better move than taking on a3 or taking on c4. So he has this move. And let's have a look what. So first at this variation. Then black can capture this rook. Black promotes, so you get 2 rooks for the queen. And now don't capture on c1. This is this is good for capturing on c1 would be worse, but this is good for black, and also what's also good for black, yeah, so the whole variation is good for black. I think maybe queen to taking on c1 and making a queen is also good. No, this is great for black. So taking on c7 is worse. But first taking on, so you first have to take this rook to don't lose both rooks. But now black has 1 move time, and now he can play knight a3. At the starting position it was worse because of rook c7. But now rook c7 is worse. Yeah, because you lose the rook on this way if the queen is on e6. We were in this variation. So rook c6. c7 is worse, but taking on c7 with the pawn is like in the main variation before. Yeah, so now black can capture on c2, you promote, and what I want to show is, yeah, so now you'd capture on b8 to be not mated. Now he takes on e6, and now taking on c1 would be worse. So let's have a look at it. Yeah, white just gets too much counterplay, I think. I can... So what's going on in this position? So black has a really easy win in this position. So not taking on c1, but... So this is an easy win. Taking on e6. So not that easy, but... Yeah, so white has to prevent h2. And now black is up an exchange. And yeah, seems to win, but he has to make one fine move to win. So he has to find one move still, because if he plays now king a7, then bishop to c1, and so then white prevents his pawn on g7, and this pawn and bishop are worse in exchange. Yeah, and this is a draw, so no one can continue or find something better. So also on rook d. So if you try to prevent bishop to h6, then wait a minute. Yeah, then you lose f2, and then it's also good for white. Yeah, so you cannot prevent bishop to h6 with bishop g5, because then you lose f2. So you have to make, in this position you have to make this move to directly win g7, and then you win. Yeah, but yeah. So the question is, did your engine find in this position queen d, queen to e6? Because this is has something to do with the calibration of the engine. Whether you allow him to analyze Mary candidate moves, or go deeper in the first tree, which look nice, and and calculate this deeper. And in such positions, if you would analyze the tree options which looks good, then you would not find queen to e6 with your engine. Thank you for watching. If you like such tactics, then you can download the Explosive Tactics app. It's an offline tactic trainer for Android. Thank you for watching.